de preferencia.
Should be there.
Welcome everybody. We are joined by head coach Gary Smith, midfielder Sean Davis, and midfielder Randall Leal, who will be addressing your questions today regarding the League's Cup showcase match against Club América tomorrow evening. We'll go straight to questions. So I imagine, Greg, you wanna kick us off?
Yeah, just a question for all of you. I'll start with you, Gary. Given the uniqueness of it, it's a one game. That it's not a competition in terms of you can advance to the next round. How do you utilize that tactically, and then also in terms of competitively for you guys, being able to match yourself up against a club like América, who's done very well for themselves this year, and obviously been successful historically as well.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, you've made the point already. It's a very unique situation. We're very excited to be part of what really is a dress rehearsal for Leagues Cup next year, next summer. For the group at this stage of the season, with 2 games to go and in such an important phase, I think it's important a couple of things happen for us and obviously for the evening. You know, it looks like there's going to be a very good crowd, so we want to be ultra competitive. And I want to put a team out on the field that, for the most part, are going to, do their very utmost to win the game. There are certain restrictions and guidelines, boundaries, if you like, that maybe I'm putting in place for the group, so that we can, of course, see the game out maybe in a slightly different fashion to where we started. And there's a lot of guys, of course, that would like to experience this stadium and the fan base, but I see no reason why the guys that are going out there full stop are not going to put on a very good display. And whenever we play here, we want to try and get the sort of result that the fans are proud of course.
Drake, if you have any questions for players or a follow-up, feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, for Randall and Sean, competitively, what does this game bring?
We're very
to Gary's point, you guys are pretty tight in the MLS standings, and then given that there's only 2 games left, how do you balance that with playing this game?
We know it's a friendly game, but we want to win, of course. We are at home. It's not our first game international, so we want to do our best to win this game. And it's good also for all the players. I think we have the chance for every player to get some minutes. So it's important for everyone to give the best and be prepared. And for the game against Houston, it's very important for us.
Ben, you can go ahead.
Yeah, for Sean and Randall, we've seen MLS become more and more competitive with Liga MX and things like CCL in recent years. Do you guys, is there like anything extra, like is it a point of pride to kind of prove anything, or is this just a game to kind of help keep you guys moving along towards the long game?
Yeah, I think first of all, Club America deserves a lot of credit. They're the gold standard of soccer in North America, and so we have a lot of respect for them and what they've accomplished across their team's history. And thinking about Nashville as a newer club in MLS, I think we're all really proud of what's been built here, and we want to continue to create our own path, our own history in MLS and internationally. And that takes time, but I think we're heading in the right direction. In terms of playing Liga MX competition, I think I've been fortunate enough to play some Champions League games, and it's just a different level, a different atmosphere, and a great opportunity. Like Randall and Gary said, a great opportunity for our entire club, really. And as players, when we step on the field, especially at home, we want to put in a really strong performance. We want to make our fans proud, and we want to represent the club the right way. So, this is something that I think we're all really excited for. We have a responsibility to play well, and we're going to go into the game with the right mentality. I think that's the most important thing in games like these.
Wonderful. Claudio, go ahead.
Is it Spanish?
Claudio, go ahead.
It's in Spanish.
Deja Claudio y luego no continuamos.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Tranquila, pero.
Claudio, as a gentleman.
Randall, ¿cómo te sientes antes, después de mañana hay una gran expectativa de los mexicanos por ver a este equipo, pero también te has ganado el corazón de muchos mexicanos, probablemente por tu actuación dentro de Nashville Soccer Club. Mañana, ¿qué les quieres decir obviamente a esta afición que mañana desea también verte disfrutar?
Sí, no, creo que por ahí el equipo, bueno, sabemos que hay bastantes mexicanos, el equipo ha hecho un gran esfuerzo por ganarse los jugadores, por ganarse el corazón de todos los fans que vienen aquí. Creo que para él es un secreto que mañana en cierta parte pues vamos a hacer visita, ¿verdad? Porque pues Club América es un equipo muy grande y muchos de los mexicanos pues apoyan a ese equipo. Pero pues va a ser bonito, va a ser un bonito partido. Creo que lo más importante es disfrutar, que las personas, creo que eso es un mix, ¿verdad? Por eso hacemos estos partidos. Y hacer ese mix de latinos con latinoamericanos, creo que es bonito, ¿me entiendes? Es bonito y bueno, tenemos que disfrutarlo y tomarlo con responsabilidad y que ellos disfruten, ¿verdad? Y que puedan disfrutar que no siempre se puede traer un equipo como América por esos rumos.
Continue. I'm going to be interpreting moving forward. It sounds like we don't have anybody on the line interpreting. So for those of you speaking English, there'll be an interpretation of the responses.
Gary, obviously this is a friendly match, but then you play in one of the most historic teams in Mexico and in America, like Sean said. Now, as an institution, a team like Nashville that is chasing its own history, very young still, how much is there to learn just by a single game playing a team with a history like America's tomorrow?
Honestly, there's a huge amount. To Sean's point, Club America is the gold standard of Mexican soccer. To your point, they have a wonderful history, and I think there's an awful lot that we can take not only out of the game, but looking back at what they've achieved, the path that they've travelled, where they're at currently. You're looking at a side that are constantly competing at the very top level in Liga MX, and of course it's a position that we currently strive for. I think the organisation, from players, staff and fans alike, are looking for a standard, and I don't think they come much bigger than the club we're going to play against tomorrow night. So there's an awful lot that can be taken out of this game, hence why it'll be taken very seriously.
¿Tienes otra pregunta, Claudio? Okay.
Well, Brandon and Sean, I guess I'm going to have to do them, but when you play there's 11 versus 11 still, doesn't matter who's coming. Brandon said, I think, a couple of weeks ago on a interview that I had with him. But does it feel different for you guys when you play a team with this history, or is it the same as playing Houston next week?
No, I think it's different. It's different, they are a big team, and we are trying to build in Nashville, this kind of type of team, that reach a lot of teams. And to play against America is good for us, to see what we are. So I think the game for tomorrow is friendly, but we need to win. We need to win, and we need to start send message to other teams. Then we are ready to start compete with the other international teams.
Yeah, just to build on that, when you're playing MLS competition, you're somewhat familiar with the players you're playing against. You play them almost, twice a year, right, in their stadiums at home, and somewhat what to expect. But when you're playing a team like Club America, again, a team that's very strong, a team that internationally competes very well, and just a team that has a unique style of play compared to what you're used to playing against. It presents different challenges, and so again, you have to be ready from the kickoff. We have a lot of respect for them, but it's important that we match their intensity, and again, that every single player is ready to put their best foot forward.
El equipo de esta manera, Jesús.
Luis Ángel Ortega, la cosa en español y me la traducen para Gary, por favor. Los dos equipos vienen a la alza, los dos equipos están listos para entrar a playoff. ¿Cómo cuidar a los jugadores que se requieren para los próximos partidos? Y cómo representar una vez más a la MLS, que vemos una lista enorme donde han competido con la Liga MX y hasta la fecha, hasta el momento, ningún equipo de MX ha podido vencer a un equipo de MLS.
Two teams that are already in their leagues to go into the playoffs and face playoff activity. How are you taking care of your players, and how are you looking to still represent Major League Soccer against a Liga MS and South America team that the league has up until this point have been beating all Liga MX team up until this year?
Yeah, I think if I've got the question right, it's a very important stage of the season, of course, for us. Slightly different for Club America because of where they're at. But we have an international break here, so there will be one or two guys that I need to be a little bit more careful with, that have gone through a long, hard season to this point. However, I think we've got a group that are very, very competitive. We've proven that not just this season, but with a core of players that have performed very, very well in MLS over the last 3 seasons now. So I'm confident in the group that we're putting on the field. Will we see some faces that we haven't seen before? Probably, and that will be a fabulous opportunity for those guys to lay down a little bit of a marker for themselves. But I think the underlying theme here that we're all speaking about is the game's not going to be taken lightly. We want to perform well. We see this as an opportunity for the organisation to put their best foot forward and to compete against a historically very, very good Club America team. So it's a big occasion, it's an exciting occasion, and we want to make sure that in the build-up to next summer's Leagues Cup, that we get off to a good start.
¿Necesitas que te lo traduzca?
No.
Ok.
¿Puedo hacer otra pregunta?
Sí,
Hola,
por
Randa.
supuesto.
Randa, acabas de decir algo muy importante. La comunidad hispana, tú eres uno de los máximos representantes, igual que Godoy, pero decías que te vas a sentir como visitante en tu propio campo. ¿Cómo harías partícipe a toda esa comunidad? Y hablando también de la comunidad americana, para que sepan contra quién van a jugar este encuentro de mañana y lo que representa tanto para ti y para todo el equipo en general, que demuestren que este equipo, a pesar de que tiene 3 años, se les ha enfrentado a los equipos grandes del MLS y que sobre todo el día de mañana sería como el parámetro para demostrar qué tiene este equipo para dar hacia adelante. Y por último, no tuvieron en la inauguración un partido de una magnitud, por así decirlo, fuerte. ¿Cuál es tu sentir ahora que van a tener esa oportunidad?
Sí, bueno, yo creo que mañana se va a ver desde el comienzo. Creo que mañana, si no me equivoco, pues van a haber más latinos de lo normal en los partidos pasados, porque América es un equipo muy grande y pues trae gente de todos los estados, entonces sabemos que pues va a haber bastante gente y pues los latinos tienen eso de hacerse sentir en la cancha, entonces creo que mañana va a ser un partido como esos, va a ser bonito, como le digo, nosotros pues siempre vamos a tratar de dar siempre lo mejor, creo que como usted dice, sí, tenemos 3 años, pero creo que hemos hecho un buen trabajo, inclusive en la conferencia ahorita en esta, y nos ha ido bien, hemos estado siempre ahí cerca de los playoffs, ahorita estamos cerca de clasificar, entonces creo que es un bonito y tal vez mucha gente no, como es un amistoso, no lo ve de la magnitud que es, pero jugar con un equipo como el Club América no es un partido que usted tiene de la noche a la mañana, es un equipo grande en México y pues ahora tenemos la oportunidad de traerlo aquí a Nashville y bueno, con todo el respeto que se merecen y todo, pero queremos pues darles a entender de que pues que tenemos un equipo bastante bueno aquí, competitivo, y que para eventos a futuro podemos también competir con ellos, ¿verdad?
Okay, I'm going to interpret for the room here. The question was about facing tomorrow's team and also the heavy attendance of Hispanic audience. Tomorrow we're going to see a heavy Latin presence than in previous matches. We are going to feel the presence, that there's no question about that. So far we have done a good job in the 3 previous years competitively. We have reached the playoffs in 2 of them, and we're on the verge of clinching the playoffs this year as well. When it comes to this game tomorrow, we're not looking at it so much as a friendly match. We can understand that to play a team like Club América is something historic. We respect the team, but we want to make sure that we prove that we are a competitive team against them as well. We're going to transition to Tony Hasman with one question, and then we'll go on to the Zoom.
Gary, Sean touched on it a little bit about what it's like to play against opposition that maybe you don't know the players as well. How would you assess the contrast between the styles and the cultures of the 2 leagues, and perhaps with a view ahead to next year where you could play up to a month against Liga MX clubs, and what actually that cocktail might produce on the field, and how different it is to your week-to-week MLS play?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it's just about the players on the field. You know, you're running into coaches that you've really not had the opportunity to, you know, pit your wits against before. The Mexican league is very quick, it's very talented. There's some very, very good individuals, technically. And when you look around, you know, at some of the Champions League games that we see, you can see the difference between a genuine MLS game and of course one that's matched up with a Liga MX team. I think there are far more individual moments that they create and want to create because they have some very good individuals. So they're trying to isolate players, they're trying to, you know, pick holes in some of the, you know, weaker spots in the team. They're some intelligent and clever players. So, you know, the expectation for tomorrow is that my hope coming out of this game is obviously the team do well, but it's a tremendous experience for the players, playing against different opposition, different style, and probably a different atmosphere as well. And I've no doubt that there'll be, you know, some questions that I've got to answer from the touchline that will be great to try and, you know, find the balance of in a game that, of course, is a one-off.
We are going to transition to Tim Sullivan on the line. Tim, feel free to, if you have any follow-ups, to go ahead and ask them.
Gary, this kind of goes a little bit to what you just answered, but also what Randall answered. I think América is the most popular team on the continent. What does it mean for you guys to kind of have maybe the biggest stage, not just at Geodis Park, but watching on television, watching across North America, for your team to kind of be on showcase?
Listen, we've built a stadium in the hope that these occasions are going to come along, you know, far more frequently. So I think we're ready for it. If you'd have maybe asked us a year or 18 months ago, the answer to that question might have been very different. I think the players are ready for it. I think this stadium for sure is ready for it. No doubt there will be a wave of support for Club América, and it may well feel like we're the away team tomorrow night, but you know, there'll be plenty of support for us, I'm sure. And as to, I think both of the guys have said here, it's a tremendous experience, but we also want to, you know, we want to be clear that, you know, this is the prelude to something very special next year. And I think the 3 MLS teams that are going to be playing tomorrow night will want to give a good account of themselves as well. So, you know, we're not taking it lightly, and whilst it'll be a fabulous occasion, We want to take as much out of it as possible and learn as many lessons as possible as well.
I'm good, thanks, Chris.
Wonderful. That will conclude today's media availability. We look forward to seeing the match tomorrow and talking to you after it.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Hasta mañana.
Good. Yeah, you think it'd be fun? I don't think you want to come in here later.
I mean, there are cameras too.
Yes, sure, that's what I did. That's it. The only thing I would say is the charge of nonsense.
One-on-one? Yeah.
You're gonna
Just a lot.
What's up, bud?
Yeah, no, and then would that person be
Yeah.
able to prepare for the room as well?
You
or
can-
just
you can
on the-
report,
on
but you
the
can't use
line?
Six. Yep. Yep.